Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. So today I have a foundations video for you guys. These are my all-time favorite foundations of all time, and not just for this year. They're foundations that I use on a regular basis. They work really well with my skin, and they're foundations that I won't go without. I always have a backup of all these foundations, and they're just holy grail products for me. So before we begin, I wanted to let you guys know a little bit about my skin. My skin is combination oily skin. It tends to get a little bit more oily, especially in the T-zone during summertime. So I do prefer foundation that is fairly long lasting, has a fair bit of coverage, and also just wears really naturally and really well throughout the day. It doesn't look like I have a whole lot of product on my skin. I don't like products that emphasize any pores either, so most of these foundations don't. Actually, all of them don't emphasize pores or problem areas, and they cover quite well. So that's a little bit of a background. So without further ado, let's get into this video. So the first foundation I have here is the NARS All Day Luminous Weightless Foundation, and this one is a bit of a controversial product because some people absolutely love it and some people absolutely hate it. I'm one of those people who kind of hated it and then loved it, so it has turned into such an amazing product for me. I wasn't using it right when I first started using it. I didn't follow the instructions on the box, and I just used a lot of the product, which you're not supposed to do because it is a very, very full coverage. It is a very thin consistency as well, so you have to be careful with how much you use and how you blend it. I find that this sets really quickly, so before I was just using it all over the face and then blending it in, but I realized that I just need to blend in sections. This one gives me the most flawless full coverage, and it's such a lightweight foundation as well. Wears really well, especially through sweat and humidity, which not a lot of foundations do, and it's probably one of those foundations that comes the closest to being sweat resistant and water resistant for me, so that's why I love this one so much for the summertime. So the next one isn't really a foundation. This one is a concealer foundation, but I've included it because it is such a holy grail product for me. I use it as a foundation, I use it as a concealer, as a contour highlight. It's just such a versatile product. And this one is a Kevyn Aucoin Sensual Skin Enhancer. I've got the shade here in SX01, and this is like the perfect highlight shade for me. I've got it on right now mixed in with a bit of concealer, and it just works so perfectly. This makes your skin look like your skin, but so much better. It literally sits on top of your skin like a second skin. It doesn't have any dryness or patchiness to it when you apply it, and it lasts, if you set it with powder, it lasts a good 7 to 8 hours on me with powder. But if I don't set it with powder, because I do have combination oily skin, it tends to not wear as long, but it still wears beautifully. It doesn't wear off patchy or anything like that, so I love this. I mix it in with my moisturizer for a tinted moisturizer look, and it's just such an amazing product. So if you haven't tried it, please go try this one out. This one is one of those products that I absolutely can't live without now. So the next foundation I've got here is one that I discovered recently, and that is the Jouer Essential High Coverage Creme Foundation. This one has only 20 mils of product, so at first I was really skeptical. I'm like, it doesn't even contain the full 30 mils for a foundation, a standard foundation. Is it that full coverage? Is it that good? But everyone was seemingly raving about it, about how full coverage it was, and so I just grabbed it and tried it out, and I must say it's become one of the foundations that I use on a daily basis now. It is such a good foundation. This one is so full coverage, so full coverage. It is probably the most full coverage foundation I've got. Very close, I don't know, it's very close to the Estee Lauder Double Wear foundation, but I find that this one is a lot more fuller coverage. I love that this is a matte finish, but it's not so matte that it dries my skin out. It looks still fairly flawless and fairly natural on the skin for a really full coverage foundation, and that's why I love it so much. I find that this one also wears quite well. It's not as long wearing as the NARS All Day Luminous Weightless Foundation, but for a really full coverage foundation, it really is quite weightless, really natural looking on the skin, as natural as full coverage can get, and I just love it and I just love it so much because it has been like a new discovery for me, and it's one of those foundations that I instantly fell in love with. The next one is also one that I tried this year only. I grabbed it up earlier this year, and it's one of those products that was really overhyped at first for me, and I just didn't grab it up because everyone was talking about it, and that in a way sometimes can put me off trying it because I feel like it might not be that good. I know it's a strange mentality to have, but this one is the Maybelline Matte Poreless Foundation for normal to oily skin. I love this product so much. It is such a nice matte foundation, not super matte, but it is quite full coverage. It's a drugstore product, which is absolutely amazing. Most of the products today I'm going to be mentioning are high-end or affordable range foundations, but this one is the one drugstore foundation that I absolutely cannot go without. This is amazing. It's like the Maybelline Instant Rewind Concealer, which is one of my favorite drugstore concealers ever, and this one is just such a nice foundation. It is matte, it is long wearing, and it is absolutely amazing. So this next foundation is a little bit of a pricier foundation. It isn't just pricey, it is very expensive. For foundation, this is the only foundation and the only foundation I have that is over $100 US. So this one is the Luminous Soft Fluid Longwear Foundation. I've got the shade here in 03 Creme, and this at first was one of those foundations that I thought was just ridiculous because of the price tag. I'm like, it's Luminous. Anything Luminous is going to be super pricey and very expensive. Whether it's good or not, I'm not sure. I haven't tried any other Luminous products. This is the only Luminous product I have, and I've absolutely fallen in love with it. This foundation is so natural looking, and it is like a sheer to medium coverage. I don't personally venture too much into the sheer to medium coverage foundations, but this is one of those ones that worked out really well for me because it just looks like your skin, but really flawless, really radiant, even though it is a sheer to medium coverage foundation. It is more on the dewier side, but I wouldn't say it's dewy. It is more of like a satiny natural finish, and I absolutely love it. Whenever I wear this foundation, I get compliments on how great my skin looks, and it's not even how great my makeup looks, it's how good my skin looks, and that to me is a huge compliment because it's not like your foundation is flawless, it's like your skin is flawless. So whenever I know I want to have really good looking skin, really perfect skin, I always go for this one. There's something about it that just makes your skin look really good, really radiant, really youthful, and I love that about this foundation. This next foundation is one that holds a really dear place in my heart because it is the first high-end foundation I ever bought, and it is the foundation I wore to my senior formals high school prom many years ago. It's been such a long time since I've had this foundation, probably over 10 years ago, and I absolutely love it. It's been in my makeup collection, my makeup kit for so long, and that's the Estee Lauder Double Wear Stay in Place makeup. The only thing I would recommend about this foundation is that please do not wear it in flash photography. I wore it on my formal and prom night, and oh my goodness, it gave me horrendous flashback. It was a white cast over my skin. I couldn't figure it out for the longest time what it was that made my skin so white. In those photos, I honestly thought it was that I had a shade or two too light of a foundation. That's why my face looked a little bit like a ghost, and it was not nice to see it in photos. I use it on almost a daily basis, mix it in with my other foundations to use, and it gives me the most flawless coverage. On its own, it is a matte finish foundation. It is like paint. It sticks onto your skin and it doesn't move. But the thing is, it's so easy to blend out. It's so easy to just integrate into your skin and just looks flawless from the first application. You don't even need to go in twice. It's just such a flawless foundation. Now this next foundation, next and final foundation, last but not least, is going to be another really overhyped foundation, and I got this one when it was hyped up. This one is the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Foundation. I've had this for a couple of years now, and this one is probably my go-to foundation. It is like expensive silk on your skin. It feels really luxurious, It's a soft matte finish for me. It's not like dewy or satiny, and it just makes my skin look flawless. When I know I want my skin to look good, I always reach for this foundation because I definitely know that it'll make my skin look flawless no matter what. It is more on the full coverage side. It is not as full coverage as, say, the Jouer Essential Creme foundation. That one is extremely full coverage. This one I would say comes close to being a really full coverage foundation, and it just makes your skin look flawless, looks like your skin still, and it looks quite natural for full coverage foundation. And it's just one of my holy grail products of all time. If I had to pick, I would probably say this is my favorite foundation ever. It's just that good, and it's one of those overhyped products, but definitely worth the hype in my opinion. So good. Love this foundation so much. A little bit more on the pricey side. I think it retails for around $63 US dollars, and it is a little bit more pricey, but it's definitely worth the money. It lasts a long time for me because I don't need to reapply it or go in and apply it twice. It wears for a long time, about 9 hours on me, and it just looks so flawless. So I absolutely recommend this one to you guys. So thank you guys for watching. That's all I have for my favorite foundations of all time and some ones that I've discovered this year. I love all of them. They're all really amazing foundations. You have to go try them out if you haven't tried them out already. Absolutely love all of them. Hope this video was helpful to you guys, and if you guys enjoy this video, please subscribe and like this video and join me on my channel. I would love to see you guys next time. And yes, until next time, see you guys later. Bye.